Well, I'm joined now by the current person in charge, Gillian. Now, the other thing I know that you want to talk about today is this new strategy on childcare, on the whole social care system, because that is vital, and that goes hand in hand with making sure that kids are OK and getting a decent education. So what is being done for them? You know, children, like I said, teachers are having to pay for their breakfast, teachers are bringing in pens, teachers are having to take care of these kids. They're almost like babysitters sometimes.
Well, life's become much more complex in many ways, right? And there are many kids with more needs, whether it's special educational needs or, you know, they're in the care system. And after a number of reviews, there's been 3 major reviews, what we want to do is reform our children's social care system. So that's when, the first thing is when children, families are struggling at the beginning. You know, mum might be struggling with domestic abuse, with mental health, with addiction, with all kinds of things. Sure. So the very first part of it is to really focus on trying to help the mum, not to judge the mum, not to intervene, to help, to see if we can keep those families together, to see whether we can help people at this big change in their life, this big moment in their life. So that's the very first thing. If for some reason a child has to be taken away from their parent, which, you know, will be, you know, a hard thing to do, the very first thing we want to do is really look at wider family. And that doesn't happen today. Usually they look at sort of, you know, foster care or whatever, but the wider family, you know, the friends, the relatives, grandparents, aunts, uncles, godparents, all the people who love the child already, who know the child already, to put a lot more support into making sure we've got kinship carers. So we're starting off with support and training, but we will also look at what else we need to do. Then foster caring, making sure that there is much more support. We have brilliant foster carers and they really are amazing. They take on a child, they really love and nurture them, but we need to support them more. We need to support them more in networks. We need to, we're increasing allowances and stuff like that, just to make sure they're better supported.
But have you got the staff for that?
Well,
it comes down to that again,
it does.
doesn't it? I mean, I know if you're saying to the kid, right, OK, we can use families, and in a way that actually does make sense. But obviously every child is different, but you're going to need somebody to assess that. And that's the difficulty, because again, social workers, like teachers, like nurses, like everyone else, they're getting disillusioned and they're leaving. Right. How do we hold on to them?
That's really, really important. So we've got 2, I mean, the social workers do an amazing job, and there's social workers and there's family help support workers as well. But they need more support themselves, right? So when they're assessing a situation, there's police, there's the school, there's health, there's all those things. So what we're trying to do is bring them all together. They all have a piece of the puzzle and they all can make that decision probably better collectively. So that's a big change in how we're helping social workers make some of those big calls. Because obviously you do have awful cases as well.
You do, and we only ever hear about, sadly, social work when it goes wrong.
Exactly,
we don't hear about because these, I mean, the workload, you know, teachers are talking about workload and it's just as bad, if not worse.
And the stress of the work, you know, imagine having to make that call. And now I mean, the very first visit I went on actually was to, you know, a centre where they basically had the police, health, social worker. They all sat round together. They all looked at various aspects and made a balanced decision. You know, does mum need more help? Is this person the problem? Can we do something about that? Is it the gangs outside? Is it something outside of the home? It's not always in the home. Can we do something to help the family escape that?
You say we though, who's going to be doing that? Because that's a really tough job.
But that's us. That's basically us, the government. We are the parents in this case of these children. You know, we need to help them, or if they're going to be in care, we're the parents. And we need to see it like that. Loving families. Both of us are here, right, because we grew up in a loving family. There wasn't much money, there wasn't any, you know, we probably both left school at 16, but we had loving parents. They made every difference to every aspect of our life, and still do today.
Sure.
That's what everybody needs.
No, I agree with you.
We need to play that role.
It's not just about money, though. It's about compassion and it's about staff. Thank you for coming in, though.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you coming in and we having this conversation.
Thank you.